But a guy that is doing stuff we never thought was possible a few years ago. Ben Groen, and Ben is originally from New Zealand, believe it or not. And is that part of the land down under? Is that considered that?
Yeah, we kind of get swung in there.
Yeah.
Like, we'd like to be a little separate, but you know.
Well, a world-class
we're tied in by
barefooter.
association.
Yeah, a world-class barefoot skier. And he and his wife Ashley run the World Barefoot Center over in Winter Haven, and it's on Lake Conine, which is on the northern part of the chain. And every barefooter, it seems, in the world goes there for instructions, lessons, and has been a hotbed of barefoot water skiing actually in the world. And you and Ashley are running it now.
Yeah,
and,
we are.
Are you enjoying it?
Love it, absolutely love it. It's why I moved here to begin with, back when it was with Keith St. Onge and David Small, and fell in love with it the first time I was here. The lakes, the city, the skiing, everything.
Yeah.
And never gave it up, never left.
Yeah, well, it's hard to leave. You know, if you're a water skier, this is the water ski capital of the world, and you know, it's just another example. You get world-class athletes that move here, contribute to society, give back, and that's still part of your mantra. I mean, you guys are running 365, you know, 7 days a week, 365.
Yeah, year round. We do a lot of traveling in the summers as well. You know, no one wants to be here when it's finally warm up north, of course. You know, those 3 days that are summertime up in Minnesota there. So we'll do a lot of traveling clinics to show teams and groups that are up in the Midwest, northern areas, and do skiing up there as well.
I hit your Instagram page earlier today. A lot of photos with little kids out there learning how to barefoot. So tell us about that.
That's got to be my favorite part of the whole thing, is the excitement with the younger generation when they're learning it, and the older generation as well, obviously. But just the younger kids that get involved, and you know, they find it can be fun, but when they learn the right way and safely and properly, and just watching them excel and progress is really awesome. We do a lot of stuff with Cypress Gardens ski team in town here. Kind of put on some come and try mornings for the younger members of the team to get out, get their feet wet. Pun intended, I guess.
It's the old joke, Ron Scarpa. You know, I always remember this. We were doing, it was an ESPN show, and I don't even know who asked the question. It was about, well, your feet, you know, that barefooting, you're going 40 miles an hour or more, and isn't that hard on your feet? You know, what's the difference between your feet and somebody else's feet? And he looks at him and he goes, the only difference is my feet are a little bit cleaner than yours.
Got that shine on the bottom of it.
Yeah. You know, and all of that type of stuff. Well, Ben, over the years, you've been around for a while. And what's changed in barefoot water skiing? I know the instructional part, and this is sort of a softball, you know, to teeing it up for you, if you will. The instructional part has changed a lot. When I first learned back in 1964, okay, it was slalom ski, put your foot in the water, step off, bam, you know, face plant. That's why the front of my head's so flat, you know. But now the stuff, the technique has really changed. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, water skiing as a whole is still a fairly new sport compared to a lot of stuff what's out there, right?
Soccer, yeah.
And barefooting especially that. I mean, for a long time, even in its early days, it was guys just out there just trying to see what works and throwing things at a wall and what sticks. So the information part, while it's still very new, like, has come so far, especially in the last 20 years. And that goes hand in hand with technology, of course. You know, neoprene was a pretty novel kind of addition to barefooting that you guys probably didn't have back in the Gardens days.
Jansen swimsuits, and if you were barefooting in the show, you put on two.
Yeah, you want to layer up, and I heard guys shoving ski bindings down the back there and all sorts. So no, just hand in hand, the information and technology that's available these days has made the sport so much more accessible to most people. people that probably typically wouldn't think it was something for them or they could do. These days, with the modern techniques and a proper wetsuit that fits and is padded and things like that, just about anybody can get out there and get into it.
So I saw on again on Instagram, awful lot of kids starting on the pole. So that's sort of the beginning of it, and then they progress from there to.
Absolutely. So there's a boom that goes out the side of the boat these days, and there's even a chair you can physically sit in, and all that's designed again for the best first experience. Get people to figure out what their position's meant to be, how their feet work on the water, and then taking it from there. Moving them onto a small handle, get them out behind the boat on the long line, the real deal, so to speak. But there's a real step-by-step process to it these days versus, I'm going to get up on this ski, you flatten it, and on the whip here we're going to step off and see how far we can go.
And the idea behind that is to keep that positive experience going.
Absolutely.
So there's only so many times, except for Mark, there's only so many times people want to face plant and continue going back to it. That may say more about him than we really want to. So you try to keep that positive experience going, and then they'll grow into.
Exactly. If they can walk out the door at the end of that day and say, this is something I can do and I know how to do it, they're going to want to come back and do it again, and they're going to be able to learn and progress. So it's about locking in that confidence early on and then working people up from there.
Ben, with the school and all that you have to offer there, and at any level, from beginners all the way up to people like you that are world-class, top-notch. The World Barefoot Championships coming to Polk County next year. What does that mean for you guys?
It's really exciting. I'm just beyond wrapped that it's coming to this part of the world, in our backyard. And it was in Winter Haven in 2003, so about 20 years ago. They actually held it in town here, and I was just a little bit too young. I missed that one. So for it to be kind of in our backyard, so to speak, I think it's an awesome opportunity for some of the local skiers to really put some time in, and for us at the school, obviously, it's a great way for us to really bring people in ahead of time, get some training done, work some things out, and then come full swing out of that summer straight into a Worlds.
It is such a big deal when you're coming into a World Championships to be able to ski, and you know this as well as anybody on the planet, that water is different in Australia, in Wisconsin, and in Central Florida. But to be able to come in, ski at a venue in a facility that is the best in the world, literally, it's got to be a positive. And then beyond that, it's certainly going to bring international visitors here because of you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of, I think we're going to see a big spike in the European competitive circle coming back in, with it being closer to Europe than last year, for example. Down in Australia, it's a bit of a trek, and you're always torn between who's going to come and who's not going to come. And the home turf advantage, is there something to that for sure about, skiing on your own water and familiar boats and things like that.
Yeah, well, you've done a remarkable job. You just got some kudos from Shauna Passanen yesterday, and how you've turned the environment of the business around, and really doing a good job. So, I think it's an asset in our hat. It's one of the reasons, these guys, that we are the water ski capital of the world, and we're looking forward to it. In fact, we'd like to get you back on this before the Worlds next year. And
Absolutely.
you got to give us an insight, because the athletes.
Yeah.
I don't
100%.
anymore. I don't keep up with it. But if you want to see something really cool, 40, 45 miles an hour on nothing but the bare soles of the feet, if they're going backwards, they can only see where they've been, not where they're going. So you almost have to be a skier to get that one. But back to the matter is, Ben, thanks so much to you and Ashley for what you've done, your contributions to the city of Winter Haven and our economy in general. It's great to have you on. We're going to get you back on again, and looking forward to your insights.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview and want to watch more Sports Central, click the video below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.